What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush, Let's Talk Jets Radio. Thank you, everybody, joining us for the live stream. Some quick thoughts, Jets-Packers, second preseason game. Initially, I was curious to see how they were going to handle coming off, big loss and injury. Emotionally, would they be kind of flat? Would they, just how they overreact as a team? On offense, it's impossible to not be excited about what Zach Wilson is showing you. Looks completely comfortable in the offense, getting in and out of the huddle pretty quickly, spreading the ball around. Couple big third down throws, 2 touchdown passes, the one to Tyler Kroft. He actually looked off his first read, threw to the second read. I mean, this is all you could ask for as a rookie as he's progressing. The whole goal for Zach Wilson is improve each week, build day by day, and you're seeing it. Developing excellent chemistry with Corey Davis, who looks like he's a stud, man. For a guy his size, very quick, very agile, athletic, has some chemistry with Jamison Crowder. I mean, the offense has some very good flow, a lot of motion. You can see the schemes that they're being put in place, which is very exciting. Tyler Kroft, as mentioned, had 2 touchdown passes. Chris Herndon not really doing much, so maybe Herndon will kind of develop as your guy. Offensive line, Morgan Moses apparently was inactive for personal reasons. George Fant played on both sides. Connor McDermott unfortunately got hurt. Don't know the status there. The offensive line did their part. The Jets tried to run the ball a lot. A lot of the series was first and second down run. Then they try to get to 3rd and 4 where it's manageable, where you can do play action pass or rollouts. Michael Carter, to me, looks very, very explosive. But the Jets handled it differently this week, where it was Tevin Coleman and Ty Johnson in the first half. Then they incorporated P. Ryan and Michael Carter in the second half. Ty Johnson should make this team. I think he's fast, he's a good pass catcher, and he actually can move the pile too. So he's a pretty versatile back. Tevin Coleman, they gave him plenty of reps. I think he's probably the veteran guy, good for blitz pickup, to kind of keep Zach Wilson, kind of stable back there early on in the season as they face different teams. Like I said, the wide receivers, Keelan Cole played in the second half. They kind of seem to have the same. They had a rotation set for the first half. In the second half, Keelan Cole was in the second. Denzel Mims, unfortunately, did not play due to injury. Jeff Smith played, Vincent Smith, Barrios is still doing his thing. So you'll see what happens there. Mike White got hurt. He got blasted on 2 plays, and James Morgan didn't look all that good. So you're curious to see what they do there. If Josh Johnson really is their backup and maybe he plays the 3rd preseason game to get him some reps, because you kind of see where you're going with these 2 young quarterbacks. Defensively, it wasn't as pretty or crisp as it was last week. Now, this is where the kind of emotional letdown, you kind of find yourself thing goes. The loss of Lawson is enormous. But last week, the Jets defense was very aggressive, flying around, quick to the ball, fast sideline to sideline. This week wasn't like that against a third-string quarterback. So a little bit disappointing there. Mosley played a long period of time. Bryce Huff was out there, and Brandon Echols made some plays. But it was just like overall, it was just a lackluster defensive performance, in my opinion. I'm trying to think of I think the big note out of all of it was Jared Davis got hurt. He got an ankle injury. Hopefully he comes back, because the Jets don't have a lot of depth at linebacker. Blake Cashman's making a lot of good plays. Lamar Jackson was struggling a little bit, but then he had a big interception late. Zuniga was inactive. For me to be inactive at this point when he's already struggling, or he's injured, but I think he's going to have a hard time making the team. Special teams, Corey Ballantyne had an excellent return on a kickoff. Unfortunately, he got hurt. And I guess the story on special teams is Matt Amendola with some money kicks. They cut the other kicker. I think the one was 54. The other one was in the 40s, another short one. But he kind of solidified the kicking position at this point. The only thing you kind of want to see is how does he work, in poor weather and the windy conditions at MetLife and all these different things. But overall, the Jets got the win, which is good. And you're seeing progress from a lot of young players. And Coach Sala kind of says, listen, you're seeing certain players struggle, but their goal is to put guys on islands to let them perform and compete, so they have tape to study to say, okay, where do they fit in our offense? Where do they fit in our defense? How do we move forward? And it was really interesting to break it down. They're even with the corners, they're testing all these guys. This may not be their scheme, but we're going to put you in a position to compete. Show us what you have, so we can give you the best evaluation and get our best final roster. So, interesting approach. To me, the story of the game is going to be Zach Wilson. If the defense struggles, it is what it is, but you want to see the offense continue to improve week in and week out towards the end of the season. And I like Zach Wilson. I'm just more and more impressed as we go along. I don't really give a shit what anybody else does, like Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence. A lot of people are mentioning the whole Tony Romo comment comparing Zach Wilson to Dan Marino. I don't even want to do that. Like, let Zach Wilson be himself, man. Let him be the best Zach Wilson he could be, and let that dictate where he goes down in Jets history and how he plays and everything else. And also, comparing quarterbacks in the second week of the preseason doesn't make any sense either, because a lot of these are vanilla schemes. You don't know, like, Justin Fields is going against second stringers, Zach Wilson's going against the first. Like, all these, like, I don't even care, man. Like, I'm just focused on the Jets and seeing them get better week in and week out. And the offense is really interesting. It is. I'm curious to see, like, a lot of good things you see on the sidelines. Like, you'll see when Zach Wilson walks off, he's talking to Mike LaFleur. He's talking to his linemen. You saw him with Connor McGovern. You saw him, I think he was talking to Dan Feeney one time, but he's very, interacting with his teammates. I'm curious if Mike LaFleur goes back up to the booth or if he stays on the field with Zach, or do they have the quarterback coach sit and talk to him. But a lot of positive things. And again, it's preseason. So much will change. Week one when they go against the Panthers and the game speeds up, the hitting gets harder and everything else. But it's encouraging. If you're looking, all we can do is base our evaluations on what we currently see. And as a Jets fan, minus the injury of Lawson, you've got to be quite content. And you got to be quite content with the way the coaching staff is handling things. Solid the way he presents it, the way that he talks to his players, the energy. Everything's been pretty good. And they're making adjustments too. So I may have missed a few things. It's hard to do a lot of these recaps when we're streaming because it's like we can't take notes. We try to stay, interact with everybody in the comments and try to live react. So if I missed anything, I apologize. Or if I missed something that you saw, put it in the comments. I'll respond to it. I'll probably watch the game later on or check out other stuff. But dude, we're here. Week 3 to preseason, the last game, and then you figure, according to what he said during the week, it looks like the starters are going to play a little bit. On Friday night at MetLife. So that's, encouraging. I think they need the reps because you don't want to go 3 weeks without playing, especially when you have a lot of these guys trying to find their way. You want to see Vera Tucker back on the field. You want to see Quinnen back on the field. You want to get Elijah Moore some reps. You want to try to get everybody up to speed. And if you think about the kind of camp that Elijah Moore's been having, adding his dynamic to this offense is super exciting. It really is. I mean, the sky could be the limit with just getting the ball out of Zach's hands really quickly, letting these guys run in space and make plays. So that's it. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you Monday night and Tuesday night.